Hello friends and welcome to Reader Zone. I'm Jake Paul, the founder of Reader Zone. We have received a lot of questions over the past few weeks with regard to how teachers can build a reading program for their students. We recently created a new Reader Zone Classroom Edition product that allows a teacher essentially to deploy Reader Zone in their own classroom for up to 40 students at a very, very low price. So I wanted to walk through the process of creating a Reader Zone account and then how to build a reading program or programs for your students. The goal here with Reader Zone is to make it such that you can build a new reading program for your students in less than 8 or 10 minutes, and then your families can create a Reader Zone account and join your program in just a few minutes. And I'll show you here the process of creating a Reader Zone program and then what it looks like for your families to actually join your reading program and participate with their students. So the whole point here is to make it really, really easy for everybody to participate in a reading program. So here at the Reader Zone dashboard, I just created a brand new account and I just clicked the Let's Go button. So let's create a new reading program. The best thing to do is click Quick Start right here. When I click that, the first thing you'll see is a alphanumeric code appears. With this code, my families will be able to join my reading program and find it. Let's give our reading program a name and a description and go from there. I'll just call this reading program Mr. Jones Class, and for my description I'll just put in something very simple. Alright, with that in there, I click Next, and I created a reading program. A reading program is kind of a bucket, and that bucket can hold reading groups. So you can either put all your students into one reading group that just has one objective, or you can build multiple reading groups in the same classroom where you have different levels of readers with different reading objectives all in the same classroom, and you see that all in one place. So let's build our first reading group. So this is a really simple reading group. I just call it reading minutes, and my description is log all the minutes you read at home. And of course you'll see in the next step here, I can make these as simple or as complex as I would like, but I'll click Next. On this step, I decide if I want to give my readers a specific reading objective, like 400 minutes per month, or if I just want them to log reading and not work against any specific objective. I'll click Reading Log here because that tends to be a little easier. Click Next. This is kind of fun. I can either have my readers be in a contest with each other, and I can even make a contest for classroom versus classroom or grade level versus grade level. We even have some schools that have made a contest where they have the parents versus the students to see who can read the most in a given month. There are a lot of fun things you can do here, but I'll just click Promote Reading and click Next. And now I decide what I want these students to read. I can have them log minutes, pages, chapters, books, a yes/no response to a question like, did you read today, yes or no? Or I can even make up my own metric. The most common thing that classrooms want to log is minutes, so I'll just click Minutes here. Click Next. In this step, I just put my dates in here. So maybe I'll put January 1st, 2026, and I'll just go all the way through the end of the school year. Maybe May 31st, 2026. Easy peasy. I click Next. In this step, which is optional, I can put in questions as my students sign up into my program, so I can ask them one of our built-in questions here, or I can make up my own, or I can just click Skip, and I arrive at my last step. And this is, again, an optional step. This is where I can put in suggested reading for this group of students. So for example, if I suggest that I'll read Super Fudge, I can put in a title, author, or ISBN here, and there it is. I can add that book as suggested reading for my students. When I click Finish, my reading program is built. I have my group going here. If I click into this reading program, I can add more groups here if I would like. I just click Add Group, and I just walk through that same process, and I can have as many groups as I would like in any given program. So you can have a lot of different things happening in a single classroom if you'd like, or you can just keep it really simple and just have one group for all your students. When I'm on this page, I can click Edit Group right here, and I can change all the parameters for this at any point. I can change the name or the description. I can add dates or remove dates. I can edit my book bank. I can really have total control over what happens here with this particular reading group. But let's go to the Reader Zone mobile app here and show you what it looks like for your families to participate with this reading group. This is the Reader Zone mobile app. This is exactly what my families see when they download the app from Google Play or the App Store. And it's really simple for them to create an account and join your programs. And we built this so that families can join your reading programs in less than 2 minutes and then make daily reading entries in less than 8 seconds. Let me show you how we did that. I'll click Get Started, and let's build an account. I'll put in the name Frank Reader here, click Next, and I'll put in an email address. The email address can either be mine as a parent, and I'll be monitoring my child's account, or if they have their own email address, maybe from the school, they can do that as well. So I'll just put one in here, confirm it. I'll click Next. Now I just enter a password, accept the terms and conditions, click Next. In any given ReaderZone account, you can have multiple readers. I can have 2 or 3 students. If I'm a parent who has 2 or 3 students at the same school and they're all using ReaderZone, I can have all my students in one place. It's really simple to do that, but I will just click Add Myself as a Reader right here. Click Next, and this is where that reading program code that we generated will be handy. So I'll enter that code in here, and let's see how it looks to join a reading program. You'll see Mr. Jones' classes right here, and this is my reading group. If I have multiple reading groups, they'll be lined up down here, but I'll click Join that group, and I am done. I land on this screen where I make my reading entry. Now this is where it becomes really easy for families. If I close the app here, you'll see what happens when I go to open the ReaderZone mobile app and make a reading entry. I'll click ReaderZone. If I read 15 minutes today, I click 15. Next, and my reading entry is done. Much easier than finding a pen, marking a chart, and having a sheet of paper go back and forth. You'll see that I just unlocked an award here. You as a teacher have the capacity to completely define what this looks like. You can define the image that appears here, the trigger for when this award fires, 15, 20, 30, 60 minutes, whatever you'd like. It's really simple to create a really great experience for your students with these awards. Now that I'm looking at the mobile app, there are some great options for your families to participate with. The first is the book bank, and you'll see that Super Fudge here is a book that I recommended as a teacher, but I can add any book that I'm reading. If I just click Add Book right here, let's say if you're, for example, we are reading Do Fish Sleep. If I scan the barcode on the back of that book, it pulls it up, and I can put it in books I have read or books to read. Maybe I finished that book, and it's done. So it's really fun for your families to see the awards that they have unlocked. Going to their progress area, they can see all the progress they've made. 15 minutes so far, I can see the book that I put in there, and it's very simple for them to participate in your reading program. What we find is that if you remove the barriers to participation in reading programs, all of a sudden families are much more likely to participate. So if I pop in here, and maybe I missed a reading entry for the last couple of days, maybe on July 1st, I read 31 minutes. I click Confirm Past Entry, and now it's done. It's all about ease of use for your families and making it really simple for everybody to participate and see the wonderful progress that's happening. So let's pop over here back to the dashboard, and let's see the progress we have made as a group. So there is Frank Reader. When I'm looking at Frank Reader right here, he's read 46 minutes so far. I as a teacher can see all of the progress that Frank has made. If I want to make a reading entry on his behalf, maybe on the 3rd, he read 20 minutes. I can make that reading entry right here, and I can see all of my data for all of my students in my reading minutes. I would see all my students lined up here. I would see our cumulative total as a class, and it's really easy for me to have that insight and that opportunity to engage with all of my readers and have them all engaging and participating in a much more powerful way than I would have if I were just handing out slips of paper and asking families to bring those back and forth to school. So that is the basics of ReaderZone. We would love for you to learn more about it and to create a wonderful reading experience for your students this school year and create that culture of reading that will really help them thrive. So thank you very much, and we will look forward to hearing from you.